there. Please welcome to the stage at this time. We're going to have John Vellinger from Redwire Space, one of our 2024 silver sponsors, to the stage. As John heads this way, we're going to enjoy a highlight video from Redwire Space. So tune into the screens here and then welcome John to the stage.
So right now we're going to go ahead and unlock the cassette. So when we open this, we're really hoping to see a nice piece of cardiac tissue. Proving out this idea that we can biomanufacture in microgravity for the benefit of people on Earth. There is some tissue in there. This has been a phenomenal day. It's pretty rare that you get to see your work kind of come to a conclusion like this, with the hopes that eventually we can use microgravity to answer the organ shortage. Microgravity is the answer to a lot of our problems, and we're only just starting to scratch the surface of what it can do.
All right. Just wanted to welcome everyone here this afternoon. My name is John Vellinger. I'm president of In-Space Industries, which is a business unit of Redwire. Redwire currently has 10 research facilities up on the International Space Station right now. We're very proud of that. We're doing bioprinting. One of the things we're really making great strides. You saw in the video, we were actually able to print a meniscus print last fall. And this spring, we were able to bring back live cardiac tissue. So that was another major accomplishment that we're really proud of. We currently have pillboxes on orbit, which we're doing crystal growth work to come up with new drug discoveries. The real goal here is to be able to help folks here on the Earth. So there's a lot of drugs that have been put on the shelf and are sidelined because of side effects. And if we can come up with a new formulation of those drugs, it can help mankind here on Earth. So we're excited about those opportunities. And I would just like to thank NASA and the National Labs for all their support of our research. And it's a great partnership, and we're very honored to be part of it. So it's my privilege today to introduce the keynote speaker. So Jim Free is NASA's Associate Administrator, the agency's third highest ranking executive and highest ranking civil servant. He is the Senior Advisor to NASA Administrator Bill Nelson and Deputy Administrator Pam Melroy. In his role, Free leads the agency's 10 center directors, as well as the Mission Directorate Association administrators at NASA headquarters in Washington, D.C. He acts as the agency's chief operating officer for more than 18,000 employees, and it has an annual budget of more than $25 billion. A native of northeastern Ohio, Free earned his bachelor degree in aeronautics from Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, and his master's degree in Space Systems Engineering from Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands. Free is a recipient of the President Rank Award, the NASA Distinguished Service Medal, the NASA Outstanding Leadership Medal, NASA's Exceptional Service Medal, NASA's Significant Achievement Medal, and numerous other awards. Quite an impressive resume. So please help me welcome Jim to tell some exciting activities about NASA and where we're going.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I love the description that you're in for exciting things, good things, but as not as much as is in front of you. I value food very much, so please enjoy your food. And thank you so much for having me today. John, thank you for the introduction. I really appreciate it. You all should look up John's background. If you don't know what John has done as his career in space, it's truly incredible to read about. So please do that. It is an honor to be here today. What an incredible turnout. It's my first time I've been at this conference, and I've been very impressed with what I read about what you've done thus far, who you've heard from, and I'll highlight some of that going forward here. I do get to cover all that the agency does, and I'm really proud today to share with you that crown jewel that we have in the International Space Station. Let's see if I don't screw this up. Everything we do starts here with our mission statement. You know, NASA explores the unknown in air and space. We innovate for the benefit of humanity, and we inspire the world through discovery. That truly embodies what we do. We're going through our budget process right now, and we just had a discussion in a group yesterday about what are we prioritizing, because that's what states what's important to us, what is important to us, and what is our mission. And all of that work in that mission statement certainly is embodied in the International Space Station. Today, I want to tell you about the exciting developments. I'm sure you've heard some of those this week already, but some more that are taking place aboard Space Station. But let's take a step back for a moment, and let's take a step back to 1998, when Zarya and Unity were joined together for the first time. On December 6th, the Space Shuttle Endeavour crew, STS-88, including my predecessor in this role, Bob Cabana, captured the Zarya module with the Space Shuttle's robotic arm and mated it to Unity. And from the first time that hatch was opened, that station exemplified international cooperation. Bob told me the story one of the first times I met him about when they opened the hatch, he asked Sergei Krikalev to float through the hatch together with him to symbolize that the international cooperation started from the very beginning. It started thousands of miles apart, where engineers designed and built those two modules and brought them together for the first time in space. And in November of 2000, Space Station received its first long-duration residence in Expedition 1. Since that time, international teams have kept the space station permanently inhabited, performing routine operations and maintenance, some not so routine operations and maintenance, including dozens of spacewalks and conducting the world-class research that you all are talking about here this week. A little more recent and a little more filled out photo of Space Station. You can see it's changed quite a bit since those first modules. Since the joining of those elements, the space station has grown with additions from numerous international partners, resulting in the largest and most complex piece of technology constructed in space, and arguably, I could say, ever constructed anywhere, and really, most importantly, changed human history, with people living off the planet since that first crew arrived in 2000. From visiting spacecraft with cargo, crew, and private astronauts, to spacewalks for station upgrades, station emergencies, science investigations, technology demonstrations, to commercial activities, to public outreach, STEM downlinks, the International Space Station continues to be a busy orbital outpost and a microgravity laboratory, and frankly, an inspiration to the world. Now more than ever, utilization, advancements, and results are adding up for the benefit of humanity. In the past 25 years, we've gleaned invaluable insights from the International Space Station, and as is our nature, we've built on decades of experience in human spaceflight, continually expanding our knowledge of humans living and working in space. Space Station has hosted nearly 4,000 research and educational investigations from people representing more than 100 countries. The first decade of station was dedicated to construction. The second decade, moving from initial research to full utilization. And now we're in the decade of results, and I'm sure you've heard about that this week. ISS is busier now than ever before, and we need to keep that research coming. Today, in its third decade of operations, the ISS continues to serve as an unparalleled platform for extended microgravity research and technology development. It is the world's leading space laboratory where researchers, like many of you here, conduct cutting-edge work, advancing technologies such as advanced robots, health monitoring, life support systems, and more to benefit life on Earth and to further human and robotic exploration to destinations beyond low Earth orbit like the Moon and Mars. Our orbiting laboratory provides researchers with the unique features of the low Earth orbit environment, long-duration microgravity, exposure to space environment, and a unique perspective on our planet. These attributes enable scientists to conduct innovative experiments that cannot be done anywhere else. I encourage you at 1:45 today to hear Dr. Nikki Fox talk. Science is critical to everything we do in the agency, from our lunar exploration to our planetary to our exploration of Earth. And Dr. Fox is an incredible speaker and just a wealth of knowledge, and I encourage you to hear her talk today. Many of you here are also responsible for the facilities that make this amazing research possible as well, and we thank you for that. It certainly has been a busy year so far aboard Space Station, and we're just a little more than halfway through that year. In March, we launched 4 people on Crew 8, and we brought Crew 7 astronauts safely home. Sending people into space and returning them safely is unarguably the most dangerous thing we do. And I'm so grateful to our crews that take on that risk and our teams that keep them safe. We also had a Soyuz launch with NASA astronaut Tracy Caldwell Dyson in March, and then NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams arrived with their Starliner test flight. While Butch and Sonny's stay has been a little bit longer than we originally planned, 2 extra hands on station gives us 80 hours more that we can do research and also take care of the other activities on board the ISS. In August, we're planning on launching Crew 9, and in September, NASA astronaut Don Pettit will launch from Kazakhstan on his 4th mission to the space station. I hope all of you know Don as the incredible engineer and scientist that he is. If you don't, he has some pretty cool videos on YouTube as well. All of these crew members are hands and eyes and ears on the ISS that make so much of this research possible, and they are often the research subjects themselves. Sending crew members to the orbiting laboratory to conduct research not possible here on Earth, and with your collaboration, is one of the core functions of the International Space Station. ISS's contributions to NASA's portfolio extend far beyond the research as well, helping fulfill the agency's mission, not only enabling science, but also maintaining U.S. leadership in space and inspiring the next generation. The microgravity laboratory has enabled groundbreaking discoveries around scientific questions and helping humanity here on Earth. Partnerships, key to ISS. Partnerships with industry are helping to achieve a strong ecosystem in which NASA can be one of the many customers in Earth orbit. International partnerships have brought together a cadre of explorers, scientists, and engineers from across the world to achieve feats that might not be possible otherwise. Station is also the agency's premier testbed for future exploration, helping with NASA's Artemis campaign and preparing for human missions to Mars with technology flying today. It's not in the future, it's flying today, and frankly has been flying for a number of years. I'm going to walk through each of these areas in a bit more detail to underscore what a significant role the orbiting laboratory has played and continues to play in supporting that NASA mission. ISS is supporting hundreds of experiments at any given time, as many of you are aware, pushing the frontiers of knowledge in every major discipline of science and benefiting the lives of the people on Earth. Working with teams across NASA and at the National Lab, benefits stemming from microgravity research, advanced scientific understanding of our planet, improve human health, and advance those technologies I referenced earlier. To share a few examples, Earth-observing instruments mounted externally have generated unique data sets, helping scientists improve climate and ocean modeling. Ask Nikki Fox about it. I'm really setting you up here, Nikki. Drugs, cancer treatment strategies, and artificial blood developed from protein crystal growth studies aboard ISS are improving human health today. Working with the White House Cancer Moonshot Initiative, a very important effort of our administrator, NASA scientists are leveraging related experiments conducted aboard the orbital laboratory to figure out how to develop personalized cancer treatments, risk assessments for radiation exposure, how to develop and test new screening technology for specific cancer, as only a handful of cancers currently have well-vetted early detection protocols. The orbiting laboratory has also been instrumental in driving commercialization in space and expanding opportunities in the space economy. Commercial cargo and crew are opening the door to more types of missions and people in space. NASA began working with the American aerospace industry to develop the capabilities to transport crew to and from station and cargo to and from station, bringing supplies for the crew to live and work on orbit for longer duration, and to support a steady stream of research investigations. We're also continuing to expand our capabilities with cargo. We have multiple ways to get cargo to the station, but only one way today to return it. While Cygnus serves as an important trash disposal function for station, the Sierra Space Dream Chaser is in development to support another option for returning cargo to Earth in addition to Dragon. Building on the success of cargo, we again worked with American companies to launch astronauts from the U.S. to the ISS, expanding the capabilities to get people to and from low Earth orbit and increasing the typical number of crew members on station. We currently have 3 different crew spacecraft docked to space station today, supporting 9 astronauts and 2 cargo ships. And we're looking forward to the launch of NG-21 to the space station later this week with 8,200 pounds of research cargo and crew supplies. Commercial flights are key to ongoing scientific breakthroughs, I'm sure you all know. Commercial crew and cargo are helping NASA deliver on its goal of safe, reliable, and cost-effective transportation to and from ISS, as well as the goal to be one of many customers. The development of a healthy commercial supplier base across a broad spectrum of needs in low Earth orbit is critical to achieving that vision. Today, more than a dozen commercial research facilities, I learn every day. I did not know there were a dozen until I was getting ready for this talk, are in active operation on board the station, while more than 20 companies provide payload development and integration services in support of the ISS research community, you. Commercial space stations are another important piece in enabling a growing space economy. NASA is working with multiple partners through funded and unfunded Space Act agreements to enable future destinations that will continue our human presence in low Earth orbit. NASA will continue to be a customer in low Earth orbit, needing accommodations, training for at least 2 crew members, the ability to support a national orbiting lab, conducting 200 or more investigations to support human research, tech demonstration, biological, and physical science. Part of our strategy has also been to offer flight opportunities for commercial providers to use ISS as the destination for private astronaut missions, the first of which was the Axiom Mission 1 in April of 2022. All of this commercial activity is evidence of the vibrant economy in low Earth orbit and the potential for it to flourish as a result of our investments and efforts. NASA continues to lead the way, and we see a bright future in low Earth orbit for us and many others. The ISS' greatest accomplishment is as much a human achievement as it is a technological one. How best to plan, coordinate, and monitor the varied activities of the many organizations involved. In addition to the contributions in science and commercialization, the global partnerships created through operating the space station exemplify how our countries can work together to overcome complex challenges and achieve collaborative goals. And the teams do that every single day. More than 100 countries have used or are currently using the orbiting laboratory. If you think about it, operating the ISS is even more complex than other spaceflight endeavors because it is an international program. But that complexity has huge benefits as well. The experience gained and the shared achievements in more than 2 decades of collaborative operations of 5 space agencies representing 15 ISS intergovernmental agreement signatory nations provides a framework for collaborative exploration for decades to come. NASA is already applying what we learned through this international coordination with the space station, developing our Artemis program. In fact, several of our ISS partners have already signed on to contribute to our Artemis efforts. As we prepare for human explorations into deep space, we've reflected on how to build on these relationships as humanity proceeds to the moon. We established the Artemis Accords in 2020 to reinforce a common set of principles, best practices, and norms for responsible behavior including the public release of scientific data. Thus far, more than 40 countries have signed on to those accords, and the ISS's contribution in providing the foundational expertise to make those relationships possible cannot and is not overlooked. Beyond the global partnerships, the ISS is a stepping stone to help us travel further into space, as I mentioned earlier, serving as that unique asset and testbed in the effort to establish a long-term presence on the Moon under Artemis and prepare for human missions to Mars. Station enables us to conduct research on how living in microgravity affects living organisms over extended periods of time, especially humans, as well as test technology humans will use to live and work on and around the Moon and on Mars. Our plans take us farther from Earth. We have to learn how to become more independent and deal with hazards like space radiation and prolonged absence of gravity. We have also used ISS to test important technologies ranging from life support systems to radiation sensors that will keep our astronauts healthy as we extend our human presence into the solar system. Having this destination relatively close to home to study these effects is essential to learn and change our experiments as we learn how to adapt. It's also a critical part of our deep space exploration strategy as we prepare for those missions into the solar system. This is perhaps my favorite part, the inspiration that's brought by ISS. If you ever have a chance, watch the downlinks that the crews do with students. It's tremendous to watch the excitement, the nervousness, but also the joy that you see on students' face when they talk to someone floating in space. I still do it as an adult. At the end of a downlink, a crew member will do a flip. There's still that sense in me of joy. Teachers connect their classrooms with ISS through storytime readings recorded on orbit, detailed science lessons plans, citizen science opportunities, and even flight opportunities for student-developed experiments in meaningful areas such as DNA sequencing, robotics, satellites in orbit, and much more. Some of those students may even eventually end up on a stage like this. We have 10 new U.S. astronauts who just graduated in March and are now eligible for flight assignments. They come from across the country, bring diverse backgrounds from different fields of engineering to physics and biochemistry. Those 10 bring us to 48 active astronauts, and we're currently in the process of selecting our next class of astronauts. It's an incredible time to be an astronaut with a variety of spacecraft to fly. Ray Lugo, coming through for me. Best guy to ever be a deputy for, right there. Thank you, Ray. And look, the National Lab even still helps out NASA. So, Ray, you're never going to live that one down. So what does the future of microgravity research look like? I think it's abundantly clear, and all of you demonstrate it every day. There's a lot of research happening today on station, and we benefit greatly when we send humans to space to conduct that research. It seems as if each question we answer creates even more questions, necessitating more investigations. On top of that, technology continues to evolve, allowing us to look at our research subjects with new lenses. While NASA intends to support ISS as long as needed to prevent a gap in capabilities, new commercial destinations in low Earth orbit are expected to come online that will provide the opportunities to continue conducting critical microgravity research. We must maintain a microgravity capability to enable NASA and others to carry on scientific research and technology development in low Earth orbit. Those commercial destinations are what comes next. However, the operating models being proposed are quite different, certainly than we've had in the past. In light of this rapidly evolving environment, NASA must answer the question, what should our goals and objectives be to advance microgravity science, technology, and exploration missions, drawing on all that NASA has learned from its decades of experience? Truth be told, this journey is not new to us and certainly has been done recently. In 2022, we charted a course to the Moon and to Mars with our strategy and developed goals and objectives to create a blueprint for sustained exploration of the solar system. This strategy underscored the scientific, national, and inspirational rationales of space exploration. Similar principles apply to the future in microgravity research, albeit tailored to this unique environment. You can see how much I've already talked about today supports these areas. Obviously, many scientific questions remain, necessitating more research to be done in microgravity. In fact, the Biological and Physical Sciences Decadal Survey emphasizes how much more there is to understand, and NASA is responsible for funding foundational research to meet those decadal priorities. There is a need to pursue national strength through science and technology innovation and competitiveness, and an ambitious program in low Earth orbit environment is a key way driving that forward. Not only will LEO strengthen U.S. industry and competitiveness, but we also become stronger as a country through our international relationships. Current and prospective international partners have indicated the importance of LEO as a destination, and the presence of U.S. astronauts on regular joint missions strengthen these bonds and our global standing. Finally, it's imperative to inspire the next generation of scientists, engineers, visionaries, and innovators, many of whom will be moved seeing the science conducted on a regular basis just a few hundred miles up. Just as Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, and the Space Shuttle inspired generations of explorers, scientists, and engineers, me being one of them, our work aboard ISS has brought the wonders of space to today's generation. I don't get to break a lot of news, okay, so this is cool for me. And I'll thank the folks at the end who are responsible for this. But in response to those three whys, we're formulating a new strategy to lead the next generation of human presence in low Earth orbit to advance microgravity science, technology, and exploration. This vision, bold and complex, is our North Star. Through a rigorous systems engineering process, we will break this vision into achievable goals and objectives, which is really the what of our vision. And we've already started to do that. A few months ago, we initiated our LEO Microgravity Strategy Working Group led by Robin Gatens, with representatives from our mission directorates and our mission support offices. In that analysis, 6 domains have emerged: science, exploration enabling research and technology, operations, commercial LEO infrastructure, international partnerships, and workforce and engagement. Each of these categories and the goals and objectives that will follow enable us to achieve that vision. In the coming weeks, we plan to release these goals and objectives for feedback, which will further inform our plans for leveraging the LEO microgravity environment. We're hopeful that you will help us fine-tune these objectives and help us find the gaps. We're also hopeful that you'll see areas where our goals align with all of yours to help facilitate that future collaboration. During this feedback phase, we'll conduct a workshop for American industry and academia and a workshop for our international partners. Additionally, we'll seek input from the NASA workforce through our internal processes. We are committed to finalizing these goals and objectives this year and initiate an architecture process to align them to current plans and track progress towards those objectives. As with both science and exploration, we know we will continue asking questions about our world and the cosmos, and we will continue to seek those answers. And we need each of you here today with us to shape that future. We look forward to your input on those goals and objectives, but let me take a minute to thank the teams that plan for and operate this incredible vehicle every day. I already highlighted Robin for her role. Let me thank Dana Weigel and Dina Cantella from the program and their entire team that keep this vehicle working and operating and planned for in the future. I want to thank Norm Knight, Emily Nelson, Joe Acaba from the Flight Operations Directorate, and our international partner operations team. They allow these benefits to be front and center for each of us. Thank each of you for your contributions to the research and development that has and will continue on ISS. And thanks for allowing me to be here today.